Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again one time for the one time on this Thursday. Throwback Thursday it is. Some news just came out that it's kind of, I was real shocked to hear about it, that HaHa Clinton-Dix got released by the Dallas Cowboys. And interestingly enough, I'm actually shocked to hear that. I know that they kept saying in camp that, Darian Thompson was, playing better than him in camp and things of that. I just thought that was just jargon, just talk. Because, that happens all the time. They always say that, like, this player's doing this player's doing that, blah, blah, blah. And with him getting lesser snaps, I'm thinking, okay, well, if he's a perceived starter, just like they do with other starters, they rest them at certain periods of training camp to get the younger guys to get reps to see what the younger guys can do. But they ultimately released HaHa Clinton-Dix, and that was just interesting to hear that. Now, I didn't think that he was that bad of a player because, again, the guy came from, he played a Mike McCarthy system. I would assume that the reason why they got him in the offseason was because he was familiar with Mike McCarthy's system, even though Mike McCarthy's, not the defensive coach, still, you know what I mean? He's played in Mike McCarthy's on his team. He was his player with the Packers, and then, he went to the Redskins. It wasn't a real good scheme fit there for him. He went to the Bears. He played pretty well with the Bears last season, and then coming to the Dallas Cowboys, not even getting a chance to play in a regular season game, and ultimately not even making the final roster cuts, which is really interesting because going into this, when they signed him in the offseason, it was perceived that he was going to be the starter alongside Xavier Woods. And, I thought that, I've spoken on it all the time. I know some people kept, asking about him, saying that, Jeff Kavanaugh said this, that, and the third. But I don't know. I'm really shocked that they released him. Because I really didn't think that he was that bad. I mean, he's a good player. If you look at his stats over the years, I mean, he's a veteran, and I mean, he was a former first-round draft pick, and he is a ball hawk. I mean, he gets interceptions. You know what I mean? Like, he's the type of player that you want on your team. But again, I'm not a scout. I'm not a coach, so I don't know, and I wasn't there at camp, so I'm not seeing what's going on. So I'm just talking from a fan perspective. But at the same time, like, I look at it like this: I really don't know what they saw or with the lack thereof, or what they didn't see in him to ultimately want to release him. It had to have been serious for them to want to release him because, again, he had a $3.5 million contract, and $2.25 million of that contract was guaranteed. So basically the Cowboys are eating $2.25 million against their cap for cutting him because that's guaranteed money to him. So that's the interesting part to me that I'm not really understanding. But hey, it is what it is. I look at it like this. I know that everybody, now that he got released, everybody's going to be talking about, hey, can we get Earl Thomas now? Let's go get Earl Thomas. I'm so sick of hearing about the Earl Thomas stuff. Like, Lord Jesus. Maybe they got somebody else on their radar because, all the teams have to cut down by Saturday. So maybe there's a safety on another team that they think that's going to get cut that they want to bring to the roster. Quite possible. Maybe they want to bring in Earl Thomas. I don't know. Remember, Eric Reed is still out there. I mean, I know he didn't go into a training camp, so he'll be kind of rusty because he hasn't done anything this offseason team-wise. But Darian Thompson, they've been raving about him, and maybe they might bump him up to be the starter next to Xavier Woods. Who knows? I mean, that might be the situation that they're going. I've always liked Darian Thompson, but but I didn't think that he would be a starter. I always saw him as a special teams and a rotational guy that can also come in and make plays, because he did last season too. He made a couple plays with the Cowboys last year, and he kind of awed the coaching staff last year. But I think that Al Harris and them really like Darian Thompson, so I don't know. For them to cut a veteran like HaHa Clinton-Dix like that just off the whim, I mean, like I said, I'm not there in training camp, so I don't see what they're seeing. on an everyday basis. I know that his snap count, as far as practice reps, have gone down tremendously. I guess halfway through camp. And again, I'm assuming because they do that, they normally do that with starters. They rest them. They're like, okay, we already know what we have with this guy. Let's see what these other guys have in camp. So, I don't know. I know you guys will let me know what you guys think in the chat box on this one, but it's just interesting just to see that you know that they released them. I'm like I saw the news. I was like, what? The first thing I seen, it wasn't even a report from Dallas Cowboys. I seen shout out to Big Game James. I just seen him just jump on a live stream, and then I see Mark post something, and it just happened back to back because I'm just, I'm still at the job right now, getting ready to leave. But I just saw that, and I was like, what the hell? So I just had to do a quick video on it. But I'll tell you this. Now we got to figure out what they're going to do, because like I said, they got to drop down to 53 by Saturday. I think 3 p.m. So we'll see what they're going to do. I mean, are they going to bring a new guy in? Are they going to get Earl Thomas or Eric Reed, some other guy from another team that's probably going to get cut before? I don't know. Or they're just going to go with what they got. Now, again, the safety depth right now is not that deep. Now, you have Darian Thompson, you got Xavier Woods, you got that young guy, I forgot about him, Luther Kirk. Now, the releasing of HaHa Clinton-Dix is beneficial to Darian Thompson because he knows he on the roster. He knows he's there. Luther Kirk might be excited too, because Luther Kirk could have been a guy that was on the bubble that was going to get cut, but Luther Kirk now has the opportunity to stay. Now, remember in the video I did yesterday on the projected roster, HaHa Clinton-Dix was on that projected roster. So, it's funny how things change in a day, right? So I wonder. I mean, because nobody saw that coming. I know even the guys that said that, like, he wasn't playing, like the other guys were playing better than him in training camp, whatever. Even they said that, okay, well, at least he probably will make the team. I mean, nobody thought that he would get cut. But for them to release him like that, it had to have been something. Like, I don't know what would warrant for them to just eat. For a team to eat $2.25 million like that, like the Cowboys don't have a whole lot of cap space. Mainly because of Dak's franchise tag. And then don't forget about Gerald McCoy's contract too. So, they ate money off of Gerald McCoy, because of his guaranteed money. Then they're eating another $2.25 million for HaHa Clinton-Dix. So that's a lot of money against your cap, in a season for a couple of players. For what? For no production. So I don't understand, like, was he really that bad that you had to let him go? I don't know. I really don't know. But again, for them for it to be warranted for them to eat just $2.25 million is definitely a reason in their minds. I want to know what it is. I really wish that, like, I can, like, have an inside step on these things so I can just talk to somebody on the inside and be like, hey, what are they thinking here? What is this? Because all I can do is speculate. I try to make educated guesses and things of that nature, but again, as YouTubers, we're not always right, because again, we're not there. We don't see what's going on. So there's no way in hell that we're gonna know what's going on because we're not there. We don't work for the Dallas Cowboys. So as YouTubers, we just try to do the best we can, do the best research that we can do, and just try to figure this thing out together as a whole with all of you guys to figure out, hey, who's going to be on the roster and who isn't. But I don't think nobody really predicted the fact that HaHa would get cut. I know some people said that they didn't like him, but I mean, I liked HaHa because I look at what he's done in the past and what he can do in a scheme that's predicated on his skill set. This team likes guys that like to go for the ball. And HaHa Clinton-Dix is definitely a guy that will go for the ball. But I don't understand, them cutting him. But again, I trust the process with this staff and what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know better than me. So, maybe Will McClay got something up his sleeve to try to bring a more talented person in there to come beside Xavier Woods, because they're going to need more than what they got right now. They're going to have to get another safety. Whether they go get Earl Thomas. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Earl Thomas's behavior. I'm a fan of his work, his skill set, but if Earl Thomas is going to be a freestyle type of player, that's not what the Cowboys need, because they're going to need somebody to come discipline and actually do what they say. So I really don't think Earl Thomas would be a good fit with this coaching staff, because they want a certain thing, and I don't think he fits that mold. But who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about that. Oh yeah, my live stream tonight, 9:30. Tune in to my live stream, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, guys, it's your boy E2 Blue. I was keeping it real.